Imagine your 32nd birthday. You expect candles, maybe a card. Instead, your parents hand you a suitcase and tell you to leave. No goodbye, no thank you, for the years you carried their world on your back. Just a cold, calculated eviction. My name is Lila, and that night, I learned family isn't always what you think, but what they did next. It was worse than betrayal. It was a plan to break me. Westfield, Ohio, feels like a place time forgot. Quiet streets, sagging porches, and secrets that fester behind closed doors. That evening, I pulled into my parents' driveway, the weight of another long workday clinging to me. In my passenger seat, a $20 vanilla cake, happy birthday scrawled in crooked red icing. No party, no plans, just a small, stubborn hope that maybe this year would be different. But the moment I stepped inside, the air felt wrong, heavy, like the house itself was holding its breath. My parents, Martin and Elaine, sat at the kitchen table. No smiles, no acknowledgement, just meatloaf and silence sharp enough to cut. I should have known something was coming, but nothing could have prepared me for what they'd planned. Halfway through dinner, Martin slammed his fork down. The sound was like a gunshot. "You're too old to be freeloading," he said, his voice ice cold, rehearsed. "It's time you left." For a moment, the words didn't land. I stared at him, then at Elaine, waiting for her to say something. Anything, but she just sat there, eyes glued to her plate, lips pressed bloodless. I forced my voice steady. "I pay the internet, the electricity, half the mortgage. I'm not freeloading." Martin laughed, a cruel barking sound. "Paying a few bills doesn't buy you a lifetime stay, Starlight." Starlight, he used to call me that when I was 6, when I believed he'd catch me if I fell. Now it was a weapon. For years, I'd been their safety net. I paid their debts, kept the lights on, patched their broken lives while mine frayed at the edges. And yet on my birthday, they decided I was disposable. But that wasn't the worst part. They'd planned this, waited for this day to make it hurt the most. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just nodded and walked upstairs, the cake's plastic handle digging into my palm. In my room, I closed the door and leaned against it, feeling the hollow thud echo in my chest. That's when I saw it. The suitcase I'd half-packed weeks ago. Like some part of me knew this was coming. This house was never my home. It was a place where I was tolerated until I wasn't needed anymore. The cake hit the floor with a soft thud. Frosting smeared across the carpet, a childish dream ruined. But as I sat there, something shifted. The sadness hardened into something else. Clarity. They thought they could erase me, but they didn't know I held the keys to their world. Every bill, every account, every lifeline was in my name, and I was done being their crutch. At 2 a.m., I became a ghost in their machine. One by one, I severed the ties. Electricity, canceled. Water, gone. Internet, disconnected. The joint bank account they leaned on, frozen. Their cars, insured under my plan, removed. Each click was a reclamation, a refusal to be invisible. This wasn't revenge. It was survival. They wanted me gone? Fine. But they'd feel what it meant to lose the daughter who held their fragile world together. The next morning, my phone lit up. Missed calls, voicemails, texts. Elaine's voice, trembling. "Honey, there must be a mistake. We're family." Martin's text, pure venom. "You'll regret this." But the real twist came from my cousin Ethan. One text, "Dad told Mom to fake chest pains if guilt tripping you doesn't work." That was their plan. Not love, not regret, Just another con to keep me tethered. That's when I knew I'd made the right choice. 3 days later, I stood in my friend Sarah's apartment, watching the world move on. The house I'd carried for years was dark now, its cracks exposed. Martin spun stories at the town festival, painting me as the villain, but whispers spread. People remembered who paid the bills, who stayed when things fell apart. I wasn't the villain. I was the one who survived. Family isn't blood. It's the people who see you, who stay when the lights go out. I'm building that now, one step at a time. And as for that birthday cake, I don't need it anymore. I'm writing my own story, one where I choose me. What's the moment you chose yourself? Share below.